In a world where being summoned to parallel fantasy realms is basically a Tuesday, we find ourselves at the 22nd chapter. Drama is brewing as two sisters exchange glances that could cut glass. One sports a look of surprise, her blue eyes wide with curiosity. The other sister, with her soft brown locks, seems less than thrilled. Her lips are pursed, and her eyes suggest she's got a lot on her mind. All this tension is set against the backdrop of a lavish hall, complete with tall columns and a golden glow. Now, we have a shot of the brunette from behind, her elegant dress making her look like she's stepped straight out of a fairy tale. She's standing before a blurred figure who seems to be the center of attention. The brunette is holding a small green box behind her back, like she's hiding a secret or a surprise. Meanwhile, the hall is buzzing with elegantly dressed folks, all seemingly whispering amongst themselves. A gentleman in a green suit, his eyes closed as if he's deep in thought, or maybe just taking a quick nap standing up, adds to the mix. The whispers in the hall grow louder. More attendees are shown, each one dressed to impress. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation, like something big is about to go down. Another character with short dark hair, partially blurred, is watching the scene unfold. This mysterious figure seems to be the mastermind, thinking, it's just that the sisters are facing each other, and yet this chaos. Since I've done this much. The mysterious figure, now fully visible, urges, hurry and give it to her, adding to the suspense. The spotlight is on the green box, and everyone seems to be holding their breath. Finally, with a bead of sweat marking the tension, the brunette takes a deep breath as she prepares to unveil the mystery of the green box. As the green box is presented, the words, "Happy Birthday," are exclaimed, turning the tension into a moment of surprise. Today, our mysterious young lady is all about making grand gestures. With a blush on her cheeks and a determined look, she announces she's got a special gift for the first princess. What could it be? Our gift-giving heroine extends her arm, ready to hand over her surprise. The anticipation builds as we see more of our mysterious gift-giver's outfit, a stylish white top with a pink skirt. What's in that green box she's holding? We meet the first princess, a regal figure with blonde hair, donned with a crown and a look of surprise on her face. The excitement of receiving a gift is evident. Elegantly gloved hands reach for the mysterious green box. The suspense is killing us. With a flick of a wrist, the lid of the green box is lifted. What secrets lie inside? The princess, with her enchanting blue eyes widened, seems genuinely surprised. "This is," she exclaims, leaving us hanging. The princess' curiosity is uncontainable. She insists on using whatever's inside the box immediately. The suspense is real, folks. Our gift giver stands face to face with the princess, her face obscured, but her body language tells us she's just as eager. Surprise is written all over the gift giver's face, her teal eyes wide open. What's going on here? The princess, slightly blushing, pleads, "Please." Her eagerness is palpable. What could this mysterious gift be? A young blonde girl sits quietly as another woman styles her hair. The stylist, with well-manicured hands, is applying the finishing touches, hinting at an upcoming event or ceremony. The girl, looking a bit unsure, is wearing a glamorous red dress with gold accents. The scene exudes a sense of anticipation. Close up on a luxurious hairpin, adding a touch of elegance to the girl's ensemble. It's all about the bling, right? A crown is placed atop the girl's head, completing her regal look. She might be young, but she's definitely ready for the spotlight. The girl's red dress with its fur collar is revealed in full glory as she turns slightly. She's clearly dressed to impress. She nervously asks how she looks, probably seeking approval. The stylist assures her, "As expected, it suits you very well." The girl beams with joy, her eyes wide with excitement as she exclaims, "Thank you." It's clear that the makeover has boosted her confidence. A grand hall comes into view, filled with onlookers who begin to clap, showing their admiration and support. The girl stands gleefully in front of her stylist, who has done a fantastic job. The atmosphere is filled with positive vibes. A group of 3 individuals, 2 guys and a girl, join in the applause. They seem genuinely happy for the girl, adding to the celebratory mood. The focus shifts to a woman with brown hair and a man with a blurred face. The woman claps enthusiastically, while the man, though obscured, seems to be part of the cheering crowd. a blank white space, perhaps signaling a transition or pause in the scene. A young girl, with rosy cheeks and a hint of shyness, is seen yearning for one more gift, her words hanging in the air filled with anticipation. The scene shifts slightly, showing the older girl's ear and side profile, emphasizing her initial reaction to the girl's request. Continuing the heartfelt exchange, the young girl bravely declares that she wishes to call the older girl older sister, creating a touching moment between them. The older girl is visibly taken aback, her eyes wide with surprise as she processes the young girl's heartfelt request. With a gentle expression and a hint of concern, the older girl questions if the request is truly all right, reflecting her own feelings of uncertainty. The young girl, her face flushed with sincerity, reassures her, determined to have her wish fulfilled. The older girl's eyes soften as she begins to understand the depth of the young girl's request, her initial surprise giving way to a tender smile. The scene transitions into a warm memory, showing the two bonding as the older girl brushes the young girl's hair with care, laughter filling the air. Darkness edges in, but the feeling of closeness and joy remains evident in their interaction. The older girl, overwhelmed with emotion, sheds tears of happiness, confirming that she is truly delighted by the young girl's request. The young girl, wearing a royal crown, looks on with a mix of surprise and joy, her expression mirroring the significance of their newfound bond. The focus shifts briefly to the young girl's attire, a red dress with ruffled layers, symbolizing her royal status and innocence. A final note is struck as the older girl's shoes click against the floor, signifying a step forward in their relationship, both literally, older sister. The shout echoes, filled with excitement and longing, as someone is clearly happy to reunite with their sibling. A touching embrace unfolds between two sisters, one wearing a crown, and both of them are overwhelmed with emotion. Their close bond is evident as they hold each other tightly. Their dresses are shown both elegant and fitting for a royal reunion. The scene captures the warmth and connection between the sisters. The older sister, with tears in her eyes, softly murmurs Amanda as they continue their embrace, both clearly emotional. Amanda, the younger sister, is seen nestled in her older sister's shoulder, tears of happiness on her cheeks as she feels the comfort of the reunion. Elsewhere, another character is seen contemplating, thinking to themselves, "I think this problem is resolved for now." However, something catches their attention, prompting a "hmm." The mysterious character, with their face blurred, seems to be observing the emotional scene, adding a sense of curiosity to the moment. Someone comments with amazement, "Wow, both of them are crying." It highlights the emotional depth of the reunion between the sisters. Two additional characters are shown, one of them saying, "Older sister?" "I'm glad, Amanda," indicating their involvement or interest in the reunion. The character, Inori, is praised for his decision-making, with another saying, "I think it was a good idea to leave this to you." Inori seems pleased with the outcome. The scene shifts to Inori, who appears confident, as he mentions, "I worked hard alone, so I'll be getting my due reward." His expression suggests a mix of pride and anticipation. "Haha, someone's making promises they're definitely going to forget. I'll think about it," they say with a cheeky grin. "But hey, gratitude is key, right?" "Thank you so much," echoes through the air. Meanwhile, two onlookers are gossiping, noting the princess was looking troubled. But now it seems like she's all smiles. "I'm glad the two made up," one of them remarks, as the princess beams with joy. The camera zooms out, capturing the princess laughing brightly, her troubles seemingly washed away for the moment. Elsewhere, a young man in a snazzy white jacket is feeling the vibes. "It's really great," he muses, hand on his hip as if he's pondering the mysteries of the universe. Another character is deep in thought, reflecting on the goodness of others. "What a good person." They ponder, eyes cast downward. Continuing their train of thought, they add, "That's the kind of thing that makes you a hero." Clearly, someone's got a high opinion of someone else. Suddenly, the moment is interrupted. "Huh?" someone blurts out, as if they've just snapped out of a daydream. "Where are you going?" they ask. The response is casual and nonchalant. "I'm just going to get some fresh air." Maybe they've had a bit too much drama for one day. The scenery shifts as the character steps outside, the sun setting in the distance, painting the sky in warm hues. As the scene unfolds, we see a lone figure standing by a doorway, looking rather pensive. It's a moment of quiet reflection, perhaps. Then, breaking the silence, a voice calls out, "Inori." The atmosphere is calm, yet there's an undercurrent of anticipation. A young woman steps forward, gratitude in her voice. "Thank you," she says, her expression soft and sincere. Yet the mood shifts as she clarifies, "No, I came to talk." Clearly, she's got something important on her mind. The other character, standing against the backdrop of a beautiful sunset, reassures her, "Feel free to talk. No one else is around." It's a private moment, just the two of them. We dive into a scene where one character acknowledges the usage of detection, calling it a useful blessing. They seem to be in a formal setting, given their attire. The conversation takes a turn as one of the characters reflects on expressing emotions, suggesting it's better to open up a little. However, this attempt at emotional expression isn't well received, as the other character snaps back, not wanting to hear such advice from someone they deem blunt. Suddenly, the focus shifts to a dark substance smeared across the floor, setting a mysterious tone. A sharp, gleaming blade appears, hinting at possible conflict or danger lurking around. In the background, two characters with blurred faces seem unbothered or unaware of the tense situation unfolding. A contemplative thought crosses one character's mind about the doll princess, suggesting a shift in how someone is perceived. The focus narrows down to a close-up of a character, deep in thought or contemplation. The scene closes with a distant view of the character, leaving somewhere in the distance, something or someone is letting out a gut-wrenching scream. This is no ordinary day, folks, as the sound slices through the silence like a hot knife through butter. The scream continues, stretching the tension and making even the bravest of hearts skip a beat. Whatever is happening, it's loud, it's intense, and it's definitely not good news. Our scene shifts to two characters caught in this moment of shock. The girl with her pink hair flowing and the guy beside her, both sporting expressions of surprise. The girl's head jerks as if she's just heard something unexpected. There is a close-up of their hands, illustrating the tension and the connection between them, as if the scream has brought them closer together in a shared moment. The page is all about the intensity, with a dramatic scream stretching across the canvas. You can almost feel the echo bouncing around the room, as if something big is about to go down. The next panel continues the intensity with the scream still reverberating in the air. Whatever is happening, it's got everyone on edge. The suspense is real, folks. More of that scream action. It's like the soundtrack of a horror movie, where you just know something's about to jump out. The room is filled with shock as a young woman with pink hair and a blurred face stands in front of a young man. Both are wide-eyed, clearly caught off guard by whatever's happening. A stylish young woman, draped in white with a pink sash, turns dramatically as if responding to the chaos. Meanwhile, a mysterious figure in a dark suit seems to be involved in this high-stakes situation. Title card makes its grand entrance, summoned to a parallel fantasy world many times. Chapter 23, folks. Buckle up. Back to the action with some dramatic Korean script, setting the tone for what's next. The tension is just getting started. Our two main peeps are caught mid-drama at the door, an exclamation mark hanging in the air like a cartoon light bulb. Something big is happening, and they're about to bolt. Someone screams "Stop!" in bold, commanding letters. The drama is reaching its peak, folks. In a close-up, a young woman with bright turquoise eyes looks startled, as another character, presumably her ally, looks determined. These two are in this together, whatever this is. With wide eyes and an expression of disbelief, a young woman is caught in the turmoil of the royal court. Something intense just went down, and she's not sure what hit her. Amidst the chaos, blood splatters the scene, hinting at a sinister event that just took place. Things are getting messy, literally. More blood and chaos ensue, as if the very walls of the court are crying out in protest. This is not your average day in the palace. Shrieks fill the air as the queen meets a grim fate. Panic spreads like wildfire among the courtiers. The king's presence is announced with a terrified scream, only for him to be met with accusations of corruption. Not the warmest welcome. The king's voice booms across the room, silencing everyone with a bitter rebuke. He's not here for small talk. An ominous declaration rings out, accusing the rulers of neglecting their kingdom's dire state. Not exactly a royal endorsement. As the royal guards stand by, The accusations continue, pointing fingers at the queen's reckless spending habits. The scene shifts to a chilling conclusion. The king and queen, who failed their people, are no longer in power. The game has changed. The empty, blood-stained thrones stand as a stark reminder of the fallen rulers, marking the end of an era in the royal court. The final shot reveals the grim reality of the royal demise, with the once mighty rulers now mere casualties of their own downfall. In the lavishly decorated royal chamber, someone named Vetere boldly steps up, announcing to the world that they, with their royal lineage, are destined to seize the throne. You can practically hear the dramatic music playing in the background. The scene shifts slightly, revealing the rest of Vetere's regal attire. It's like a flash of gold and fur, screaming, "I am the next ruler," without even saying a word. The tension in the room is thicker than grandma's pudding. The camera pans down to reveal a woman's shoe stepping in a pool of blood on the floor. Well, that's one way to make a killer entrance. Literally. As the scene unfolds, we see a woman with a determined stance, declaring that Igiana will be the queen. The plot thickens. The scene takes a turn with two characters caught in a moment of surprise. One of them gasps, seemingly recognizing someone as the Knight Commander. Plot twist, anyone? A sudden shift takes us to a soft focus view of a door, with a single word hanging in the air. Mother. The suspense is killing us. A young girl in a red dress, wearing a crown, kneels on the floor. She seems to be in distress, her posture conveying a mix of desperation and determination. The girl's eyes flash with a fierce light as she glares upwards, her crown glowing ominously. Things are about to get real. The scene opens with a young girl donning a crown, her face a mix of determination and fear as she faces a looming threat. Her hair dances wildly, seemingly reacting to the intense energy around her. She stands defiantly, her red dress swirling with the power she is summoning. Her mouth is open in a shout, likely a battle cry or a spell being cast, as pink energy envelops her. The swirling energy intensifies, framing her figure in a dramatic display of power. The noise and chaos of the magic echo around her, signaling the crescendo of her spell. A brief moment of white space gives a sense of stillness amid the chaos, a calm before the storm, as the magical energy seems to pause for a heartbeat. The scene shifts slightly, revealing the perspective of another character. The mysterious figure stands firm, their face obscured, holding a sword as they confront the princess. With a powerful gesture, the princess conjures a glowing sphere of energy, her hand outstretched and determined. The magic crackles with intensity, the air shimmering with raw power. The energy swirls around, a vortex of pink magic, as the princess channels her power. This moment is charged with anticipation, the magic building to an inevitable confrontation. A new face enters the scene, partially obscured, their hair a bright blonde. They seem to be approaching or observing the magical battle, adding a layer of mystery to the unfolding events. Crossed beams of light appear, indicating that a clash is in the heat of battle. A mysterious figure with a blurred face swings a deadly blade, cutting through the tension with a dramatic slash. The victim, a blonde in a striking red dress, is caught off guard, the attack sending a spray of blood into the air. The impact of the attack sends the victim tumbling backward, their hand reaching out in a desperate attempt to regain balance. But alas, gravity is not on their side today. With a scream that echoes through the room, the victim lands hard, their red dress billowing around them as they hit the ground. A shocked onlooker, with wild brown hair and a look of disbelief, cries out in concern, "Amanda," their voice full of urgency and worry. In the midst of panic, a voice cuts through the chaos, warning Ryuto, presumably the brown-haired onlooker, not to move. The speaker, with blonde hair, remains partially hidden, adding to the mystery of the scene. "If you attack, you won't die peacefully either." Those are some heavy words coming from a mysterious figure in a stunning blue dress. The stakes are high as she holds a sword, ready to make good on her promise. The drama continues as we see the mysterious figure in blue, sword in hand, towering over a kneeling figure in red. The power dynamics are clear, and it's a tense situation. "We are the children and people of the witch." A bold declaration rings out, adding a layer of mystery and intrigue to the scene. A new face enters the fray, a character with blonde hair and a distraught expression. Clearly, the tension in the room is getting to her. Betraying the witch's will, and making the foolish decision to summon heroes. The blonde girl is not holding back as she lays down the accusations. Someone's in trouble. On the floor, we see an ominous object, a piece of armor perhaps, adding to the tension and mystery of the scene. Is a grave sin that can only be forgiven by death. The stakes are high, and it seems someone may pay the ultimate price. With tears flowing, the blonde girl's expression is heart-wrenching. Whatever is happening, it's hitting her hard. Sister, a simple word with a world of emotions attached. The plot thickens as familial ties come into play. The scene closes. All right, folks, we're diving into a scene that's hotter than a jalapeno on a summer day. Our mysterious blonde with eyes shining like high beams in the night is at the heart of the storm. She's looking fierce and ready to rumble as things start to heat up. Next up, we've got someone unleashing a mighty shout, urging to return to the witch's side. Oof, sounds like things are getting witchy real quick. Who's gonna heed this call, and who's gonna stand their ground? The tension is so thick you could cut it with a butter knife as red energy swirls around, hinting at some serious magic mumbo-jumbo. As the energy continues to swirl, the scene keeps us on the edge of our seats. It's like watching a fireworks show, except you might want to duck. Suddenly, an ominous silence fills the air as the mysterious blonde character's hair sways in the magical storm. The anticipation is real, y'all. Enter Amanda, with an expression that says, "Uh-oh," as she gasps. Whatever's happening, it can't be good. Hold tight, Amanda. Meanwhile, we've got another player in this magical drama, with dark hair and a serious expression, thinking no. Clearly, they're not thrilled with the turn of events. Our dark-haired character is clenching their teeth, likely calculating their next move, or just trying to keep their cool. Either way, the stakes are high. A brief pause, like the calm before the storm, as the scene transitions, leaving us in suspense. A name echoes through the air, Amanda. Someone's pretty desperate to get Amanda's attention, and we can only wonder why. Lastly, a mysterious figure with blonde hair and a gloved hand stands at the edge of the scene, hinting at more twists to come. What's their game plan? In a grand hall bustling with people, a mysterious figure in a striking blue dress makes her way through the crowd, completely unfazed by the chaos around her. Meanwhile, a tense situation unfolds nearby as bodies hit the ground, and a young man with dark hair clutches a frightened woman, muffling her cries. He warns her in a hushed tone, "If you make a sound, you'll be discovered." The gravity of the situation weighs heavily in his gaze. The scene shifts to a blonde woman with an air of authority. She surveys the tumultuous scene and muses to herself, "A rebellion, quite a flamboyant event." As she stands among armored guards, her presence commands attention. She's adorned in a gown that speaks volumes about her status and power. Her voice rises above the noise, addressing the crowd. "Fellow citizens, send these foolish ones gathered here to the witch's side." Her words are a call to action, urging the crowd to punish them. The proclamation sends shockwaves through the gathered people. The onlookers react with a mix of terror and disbelief, their faces contorted in panic. In a dire situation, a girl with striking aqua-blue eyes is on the verge of tears as she delivers a stark warning. "If you go now, you'll die too." Clearly, danger is lurking around the corner. Her words hang heavy in the air as another voice chimes in. "You have two choices. The stakes are high, and decisions must be made." A young man with dark, intense eyes holds the girl firmly, his gloved hand covering her mouth. His face is etched with urgency, as if time is running out. The girl, adorned with a green pendant around her neck and a look of desperation in her eyes, is presented with an ultimatum. Die a worthless death here. A decision that weighs heavily on her shoulders. With a dramatic flair, the ultimatum concludes with a hopeful alternative, or escape and survive. It's a call to action, urging her to make a choice that could change everything. The scene opens up with a dramatic hostage situation. Our intense, dark-haired dude is laying down the law, giving the teary-eyed blonde girl two options, a grim demise or a daring escape. The dude isn't messing around. He's got the girl in a tight grip, and he's spelling out her choices as if he's reading from a menu of doom. We zoom in on the girl's attire, a necklace twinkling amid the chaos. The options are clear, a dog's death or a chance to run for the hills. Her choices echo in the air, the tension so thick you could cut it with a knife. It's survival of the fittest, folks. Enter the title card, summoned to a parallel fantasy world, Many times, chapter 24. Things are about to get real. Suddenly, the chaos erupts, with black splatters flying around like a Jackson Pollock painting gone rogue. Amidst the splatter, a hand reaches out, maybe for help, maybe for some divine intervention. Either way, it's dramatic. From the chaos, our protagonist emerges, his back turned, the tensions palpable as he stands his ground. The scene shifts to a fallen figure in a vibrant red outfit. It's a stark contrast to the dark liquid pooling around. "Don't be ridiculous," he says, his words heavy with conviction, challenging the idea that anyone deserves to die. With passion and intensity, he declares there's no such thing as a person deserving to die. The scene opens with a man sporting a stylish blonde goatee, dropping some truth bombs. The hero is still young, he says, hinting at some serious shade being thrown. His words get darker as he declares all nobles around are basically the worst, calling them scum unworthy of life. Clearly, somebody isn't a fan of the upper crust here. In the throne room, our blonde-bearded friend stands tall, while two nobles slump in their seats, probably regretting their life choices. A young man steps up, looking like he's about to burst with emotions. The young guy, clearly not a fan of the kill-em-all strategy, shouts passionately, "Even so, there's no need to kill them." His words hang in the air, met with an ominous silence. Suddenly, we're in a wrecked place, where the true horror of the country's state is visible. A bunch of people, including kids, are living in squalor. It's a real eye-opener for our young hero. Reality hits hard, and the young hero slowly starts to understand the situation of this country. Meanwhile, a mysterious voice orders Iziana imprison the heroes. Uh-oh, things are about to get spicy. Ryuto, another character, is urged to stop his futile resistance. If you don't want to face a rough time, you better buckle up, folks. We're talking high heels and serious business here, so you know things are about to get real. Our main dude is not backing down. With a fierce look in his eyes, he's all ready to throw down. Yep, that's right. It's power-up time, and things are about to get electrifying. With energy crackling all around, our hero forms a light sword, ready to slice through any obstacles. The energy is unleashed in a blinding flash. It's like fireworks, only with a lot more intensity and a lot less safety. Wait, who's this? We've got a new player in town. All we can see is that cool hairstyle and some serious swirling mist and cloaked figures set the stage for a tense showdown. The blonde warrior, sporting a sharp gaze and a blue aura, acknowledges the opponent's impressive strike, saying, "Quite a decent strike." The blonde warrior continues to appraise the opponent's abilities, complimenting their judgment and power, suggesting that this isn't just any ordinary skirmish. The young opponent, with brown hair and a fierce expression, is clearly struggling under the pressure, letting out an agonizing "ah" as the battle intensifies. A burst of energy erupts from their clash, creating a dazzling display of light and power that consumes the battlefield. The scene captures the aftermath of the energy burst, leaving traces of its raw power in the air. The blue aura warrior, calm and composed, stands amidst the storm of energy, seemingly unfazed. Meanwhile, the young opponent tries desperately to hold his ground. The energy from their swords ripples across the battlefield, leaving destruction in its wake as the young warrior pushes against the overwhelming force. The energy wave cuts through the air, slicing through objects with ease, demonstrating the sheer power of their duel. As debris flies, a girl witnesses the unfolding chaos, her face filled with fear as she lets out a "Gah!" overwhelmed by the sight. The girl's expression turns to panic as she watches the energy continue to wreak havoc, the situation growing more dire by the second. The energy wave surges forward, and the girl, with green hair and a determined expression, braces herself against the oncoming force. Another girl, her hair flowing with urgency, shouts out, "We need to save Ryuto quickly," as the gravity of the situation becomes clear. The scene opens with chaos as our heroes are under siege. One character is crying out, "No! There are too many soldiers." Panic is in the air, and the pressure is on. "Looks like they're in a bit of a pickle, folks. Damn it! At least we should have some weapons," shouts another character, clearly frustrated with their lack of preparation. Well, ain't that a mood? Fighting hordes of soldiers barehanded is definitely not ideal. As the camera pans, we catch a glimpse of a blonde character who seems to be deep in thought. His expression is a mix of concern and contemplation, as if he's piecing together a master plan. Or maybe he's just zoned out. Who knows? The battle rages on in the background, with silhouettes clashing in a blur of action. Our blonde friend remains calm amidst the chaos, but his silence speaks volumes. Meanwhile, another character is gasping for breath. Ha! He's drenched in sweat, the strain of battle clearly taking its toll on him. Hang in there, buddy. We hear a voice noting, it seems like Tamaki's side is struggling too. It won't be easy for them to win either. Seems like things are tough all over, and the odds aren't looking too hot for our heroes. The blonde character, now seemingly in action mode, is caught in the throes of battle, surrounded by a bright blue aura. This dude is definitely packing some serious power. A mysterious blue energy cuts across the scene, splitting the air with its intensity. Our focus shifts, but the tension hangs thick in the air. Suddenly, a blur of motion and a flash of light. It's hard to tell what's happening, but you can feel the energy crackling through the panels. Another character, sweating bullets, braces against an intense blue light. This guy's got determination written all over his face, refusing to back down. Boom! An explosion of energy as two forces collide, both sides giving it their all. The stakes have never been higher. Two characters are locked in a fierce stare-down, lightning crackling between them. With an intense, unwavering gaze, a blonde character states, "Just give up." Clearly, things are heating up and someone's about to play hardball. Continuing with the suspense, the same character mentions, "After capturing you all," which sounds like a villainous plot straight out of an action movie. Tears fall from a woman's eyes, capturing a moment of vulnerability and deep emotion as she appears to be in distress. Leaning against a wall, the woman seems overwhelmed and lost in thought, likely contemplating her next move. The scene shifts to a new player in the game, a man who looks solemn as he speaks about having to deal with the second princess. With a serious expression, he breaks the mood with a stark warning. "Sorry to break the mood. If you stay here, you'll only die." Talk about a party pooper. The man continues, standing over the woman, urging her to decide whether to flee and live or stay and face certain doom. Her hand clenches tightly, signaling a brewing resolve or perhaps frustration as she weighs the heavy decision before her. He questions her resolve. Will you give up again this time? Clearly hitting a nerve or perhaps pushing for a reaction. His face is firm, his expression one of determination as he awaits her response. In a serene flashback, we see the woman with a young girl, hand in hand, walking away, hinting at a deeper connection or past. Their hands separate, emphasizing a poignant moment of parting or decision. Aaliyah's head is bowed, her face hidden as she struggles with her emotions. Tears stream down her face, but determination shines through as she refuses to give up. Aaliyah, with fierce determination, declares, "I won't give up," as a surprised young man stands beside her. She passionately exclaims her will to survive for Amanda's sake too, her resolve unyielding. Aaliyah's fierce expression accompanies her vow not to give anyone the right to decide her death. A mysterious young man with blurred features stands under the warm hues of the sunset. With a sly smile, he offers his aid, saying, "Then he'll help you escape." The young man addresses her as the second princess, but hesitates, hinting at a deeper connection. His face remains obscured, maintaining his enigmatic aura. His uniform suggests a position of authority or importance. Finally, he calls her by her name, Aaliyah.